So much to do, but I wanted to share with you what's been going on here our way, my way, in the hills of Tennessee. Yep, somebody's out without having to be on any type of lead. It's up and it's done. They started yesterday morning, came back mid-morning, and completed it. And boy, was she surprised she could come out the door without having to be hooked up. However, there's going to be places that we're really going to have to watch her closely, because as you've seen, she's a digger. And she might just try digging, and I'm going to try squeezing in between this lilac bush and the rose bush without ripping up my arms. Where are you, girl? Soph, where are you, girl? And she is exploring. Here she is. What do you think there, girl? So I'm excited to get out here and get started on work. And truthfully, I see this as one big canvas. And when Ken hears that, he's gonna be like, oh my goodness, girl. I see it as one big canvas to start putting more flower beds in here. And then I'm thinking flower beds and her digging, that may not go well together. I already lost her under this weeping, I believe this one is the weeping mulberry tree. And I thought that one of the 3 trees over there was her hiding place or her resting place. I think she might have just found another resting place. So it's calling for rain here the next many days, and Ken went ahead and came in. So I think he's gonna get out here and get started working, and I wanna get out here and get started working. And I'm hoping to push mow this area. So she did come over here to her favorite tree, and that might be where I'll start working, because you can see the weeds that I'm going to have to start pulling. And it's probably best for me to start in the shade anyway. They did like put some dirt along the bottom there, but that's not going to stop her being the digger. It's just, we're just going to have to really keep an eye on her. In which she probably won't be out here without us, one of us out here anyway, because she is an indoor dog, and this was just so she could run free and hopefully get some of that energy out of her. And I would like to do some type of obstacle course out here with her. Training and working her. She's collecting sticks. So he had 2 doors put in here so he could get his truck in if need be, and to get the 0 turn in. Put the one people gate right here over the sidewalk. They had to dig up a couple of my plants, or one plant, and Ken said just sit it over there in case she wants to put it somewhere else. And just run it up to the house there. So when you're standing outside of it, it looks like one whopping privacy fence going on. And I first wanted to start with the kind of fence that has the chicken wire through my daughter and son-in-law that they have on their farm. And then Ken's like, if we're gonna put that kind of money into it, he wanted the privacy fence. So that's what we went through, and actually I'm glad he made that decision. Looks like the bird's like sitting out over here as well. And she's already chewing. Go around the yard looking for like bottle caps or any nails that might have gotten left. So I'm just absolutely amazed they pulled in yesterday morning and this is already up. That was it was a good crew, and it was a crew of them. I know at least 4, maybe sometimes 5 out here. She's just so happy. And we had thought about getting a second dog, but we're gonna give it a good year being with her, or let her get to a year old, and then we'll just reassess that situation from there if she needs a playmate or not. Tara said that they're going to, as I was saying before I had to dig that food out of her mouth, it was just a tomato off one of their sandwiches, I'm sure, because this is where they sat when they were taking breaks, but I didn't know what it was. Tara's getting her mom spayed, and we're gonna get her spayed too at 6 months. So we've already talked to our vet and get that already in part of the very near future. So we won't be getting a sister if we go with another healer. We'll just have to, maybe if we think that's something we really want to do, look to adopt one that needs a home. Right. Look at that! Oh my gosh, and I'm not getting any closer. We won't say where his head ended up. Oh.
Or the top of his head.
Or the top of his head. So he probably does still have a jaw. I see a cut in his back too.
Yeah.
Let's just say he went up against the lawnmower. Was he coming up over it?
He's just sitting there facing this way, and I said, goodbye. You fix and get run over.
Oh. And I don't know what kind it is because the head's missing. So can't see the shape of its head or the shape of its eyes. But as our daughter says, there's only one kind of good snake.
Red one.
A dead snake. Don't let her near it. That's just crazy. Those flies are already wanting him. Ugh. My boot popped. It freaked me out. Oh my goodness. I am wore out. But I was able to get a lot done today. So I thought I'd share it with you just in case it starts raining tomorrow or tonight. We're supposed to get rain, I think, all weekend. Excuse me. I was able to trim the rose bushes back. I still have more weeds to pull another day. I need to trim these back, but we are loving the privacy fence already. And so is Sophie girl. If it doesn't rain this weekend, or if we get a break in the rain, I'm hoping we can get the stuff out from under the house to put right there. The guys did a really good job on the fence. Mowed all of this today and did some weed eating, and then Ken mowed outside of the fence what he could get today. And he push mowed the front part of the yard where it comes up to the house, between the sidewalk and the house, because I usually push mow that. But this is a whopping lot of fence, y'all. And you can tell you're in Tennessee when you see red clay, red dirt. Ugh. That's one thing about Michigan, it had a dark soil. So we just have like red clay, and we do the best that we can with it. Some people have topsoil or dirt brought in for their gardens around here. But so far we've done really well with our garden out back. And I just played around with those beds, well, that one bed and the gazebo there with the pine needles today, and pulled quite a few weeds, but I've got a long way to go. But this has really been my first full day out, I think. Well, I got out later, but this has been the first day that I've been able to get this much accomplished in one day since this year, I think. Still have to do some weed eating. I didn't want to push mow over the red dirt and throw rocks. I got up as close as I could get, and then this is Sophie's new playground, and I think I told y'all earlier, and I am out of breath, y'all. I wish I'd take a minute to catch my breath. I bet I have well over 25,000 steps, well over that. I want to put some kind of agility or some kind of something out here to work with her to really wear her out. And since I think she's pretty much going to stay with us all the time, we put her on the cable a few times today, like when I was doing stuff and I couldn't have her right up under my feet, like mowing, push mowing. And when I was doing some weeding with the tools I was using, I didn't want her to run up on me and, yeah, me stab her, or her stab herself, or her calls me to stab myself. So I think she's gonna stay with us right here inside the fence. I think the only time she's gonna put up a stink or a fight is when we're outside the fence and she has to stay inside, because she's already knowing that we are her pack, but we are her leader. And here's one of the monkey grasses they had to pull up because they put the post there. I've got to find a place to put that, and I may just put it right here. But it's supposed to rain tonight, but I went ahead and wet everything down, or wet the monkey grass down. That's how I pull the weeds in between it, and I'll get out here before it gets too sunny on the next day available that it's not raining, and do the weeding in between each one of those monkey grasses and all around them. And then I'm still learning how to use this gate. And I'll show you what it looks like from the outside. And there it is from the outside. I take that back. I have been out here and worked one day. I'm telling y'all, I'm so tired I feel drunk. Have you ever been that tired that you actually feel loopy? I've forgotten that I've weeded the beds, but they need it again. And I'll have to weed in between each one of these the same way beyond the gate here. And I washed the red clay off the sidewalk just with the hose pipe. That's all I did to it for today. I think it's my turn to go in and get cleaned up. And boy, do I need it. I think Ken's behind me holding his nose. I'm so sweaty. Let's try this again. My lens keeps fogging up because it's chilly in the house, and then I step out here and it's so humid. Or as I used to say, or still sometimes say, so humid. Boy, do my legs feel the kind of work that I have put in since yesterday. Ken was able to get all that mowed down on the other side of the fence now. And looks like the woods are mowed down. Get to take you on a little stroll. But this is what I wanted to really focus on and get done today. And I got out here pretty early and got it done. And then I was gonna keep pushing on, and a big old clap of thunder. I thought, well, I better go ahead and pack up so I'm not having to do this while it's raining. So we're gonna go to Lowe's this weekend, and I'm gonna pick up some more plants and things that we pick up the end of spring, first of summer, some pots and some flowers and ferns to put on the front porch, the back porch, and get some flowers to hang there in the gazebo. But I want to pick up some preen. I'm going to put some preen down, and then I'm going to get some more bags of topsoil. He has a few out there for me, but I'm going to get some more, and I'm going to put some topsoil here in between and around these monkey grasses, because each time I weed, I take up more and more dirt. So I need to put some dirt down, some fresh dirt down. And I've got a couple of plants that I've got to replant where the guys had to remove those, putting the post in over there. So I've got quite a bit done back here today. Ken says, for you to have just gotten out here yesterday, you sure did get an awful lot done, being that they just got this fence up yesterday. But I was just motivated, and I was gonna go until my body just wouldn't let me go no more. So we're really enjoying the fence. At first I kind of felt closed in at first, but now I'm really enjoying it, and Sophie girl is definitely enjoying it. And I'm already starting to see so many possibilities, like that corner needs something, and I'm thinking, not that corner down there, I can't do that because that's actually a door that opens down there that he can open up. But we're going to be repainting the barn the same color and the trim the same color. And then I think he's forgotten to ask the company that put the fence up how long it has to sit before we stain it. To want to be doing that, stain it and seal it, and get the best wear we can get out of it. take care of it the best we can. And I was so close to cutting all these back today, but I told you all before, but if you're new to my channel, I can cut these back and they will just rebloom each time, or they have in the past for me. But I was so close to going ahead and cutting these back and thinning them out, because when I do cut them back, I'm going to want to thin them out because they are far too thick in there, and they're kind of laying over right now because we did get a rain, and I did use the hose pipe when I was out here earlier. Actually, this bed, it needs a lot of watering, sometimes a couple times a day. When we had this patio poured, we had them to make this design, which it was their idea that they came up with, because they were like, do you want to make some kind of bed in between the two levels? And I was like, yeah. And he told me what it would look like, and I really liked that he shared that with us, and that we do have this little area here. I know we have a 3-day weekend, but he has his procedure next week, so I think he's going to be able to come home after the procedure. They told him he would, but they told us to come prepared to stay the night just in case. And I was going to trim all this up, and then the thunder was rolling through, and I was afraid that I would be out here and it just come a downpour, and I didn't want to work in the rain. I didn't want to do that at all. We are exchanging our dishwasher. The one that we bought and already installed, we don't like it. Neither one of us like it. So Lowe's is letting us exchange it, and we already ordered the one that we want. And they're having a sale this weekend, so that saved us quite a bit. So he's pulled that dishwasher up, ready to take it back to Lowe's and pick up our new one and get that installed. I don't know if you can tell, that's our little entrance to the woods when I walk you all through. I am not steady-handed whatsoever, and especially when I'm zooming in. They left us some handles too, so I thought that was pretty nice to put on the other doors if we want to. I guess Ken's put those away. But there it is. There's Sophie's fence. We have furniture that goes there, here. His hammock was there last year. Now that we have the privacy fence, I bet he's going to leave it over there. Where it's at right now, that's not where it goes. It goes up under the tree. But I pulled it back when I was push mowing back here. And then we have the furniture that goes there and some around on the side of the house. I brought the stuff in. I just dropped everything and went straight to the shower. So I've got things to put away. And we have an open hole again. No fear, the power's off. So it's the day before Ken's procedure, his ablation. And I'm packing Sophie girl up. I've got to get her bedding packed up as well. I have her food, her treats, her toys, and things like that packed up because she's going to be boarded. She leaves tonight. We're gonna wait until just before they close to take her, and I'm gonna miss her. However, I'm not going to be able to take care of her, the house, Ken, and all the other things that I need to do during Ken's recovery stage. And she's just going to be there for a couple nights. They think that he's going to be released the same day, have the procedure tomorrow morning. And they think he'll be able to go home tomorrow. But they did say come prepared to stay the evening, just in case. And if there's any risk that he needs to stay, I'm going to vote for staying. I was able to get a lot, or Ken and I both were able to get a lot done this weekend. I worked here in the backyard mostly. So, get out of that. And I went ahead and started removing the buds that pooped out. And that's an everyday thing. So I try to get out here and do that in the morning while it's not too hot. And I just scared the pee out of me. It was a lizard. I thought it was a snake. And it's wiggling in there. If you can see that. If Sophie sees it, it will be gone. So I've got this picked out, this bed here. When I say pooped out, that's what they look like the next morning. And I just snap those off with my hands. Ken got these 2 chairs and the table painted for me yesterday. I had stuff lined up out here. And then I had the cans of paint on it. He's like, well, that's something I can do while I stay inside the fence with Sophie while you do what you need to do around the side of the house in the front as you work your way back around to the back. And we have to sand both of these down and do the same thing with all 3 of the chairs and repaint those. It's just that time of year and that season that everything needs a fresh coat of paint. And this is my little bucket that I use to do my, what I call the domestic daylily, removing the pooped out heads, the pooped out blooms. So there is one of the toads that fell out. This was laying down. I lay that down when we get winds. Well, that's one of them that fell out from under there. Can you see it? That's my shadow. Yeah, right there. I heard plop, plop, plop. 3 toads fell out from under that umbrella and scared the toot out of me. Not really, but it's pretty good flop because the other 2 hopped off into that bed there. This one, he's not wanting to move too quick. But I always have, I always try to stay alert to make sure a snake wasn't wound up and hanging out in there, and I try to stand back. That's the one time I didn't stand back. And that's where we keep the cushions and the pillows. Of course, they'll need to be blown off or used a brush to brush them off before I put them on the seats over there. But I'll do that once we get back from the hospital and get Ken set up into healing. And then when I take all this out, I'll also clean this bin out because you can see it's spider web. Or spider's making its little nest there in the corner. Like for the mornings that I get the cushions out, the evening that I'm closing up outside here, I remove all the cushions and the pillows and put them back in the container there. So they will last us a while. And I think I've had them 3 years, maybe 4 years. And I got to get the preen put down on all this yesterday. I still have topsoil to put down over it. I don't know if I ran out of steam yesterday or just ran out of hours. Or it did start raining, so we had to go ahead and pack it up and come in. And I was able to get, that's the ACU here, the smaller unit. I was able to get all this weeded and put preen in it. And one of the plants that they had to remove because of the post there, I put it there, and I'm going to go ahead and run a row up to the privacy fence there. So I'm having it on both sides of the side. The hummingbird feeders out because they've been flying around here asking him where their food was. There's one right there on the cherry tray. Itty bitty one, or weeping mulberry. So it was probably eating. And the fire pit, he started painting for me. He got the top done, the insert done, the rack. Now we'll have to take that off and spray the legs and the design there on the bottom. And I need to spray paint these 6. Try to use these 2 right here one more season. This one is about to poop out. Huge potted ferns, and I put in this, and it covers up the crack and the hole there eventually. And if it doesn't, then I'll just have to go another route. And I have these other 4 that I use. I use 2 up on this patio, on this porch there. And then I just play around with the other 2, but 2 will go up front on the front porch. And what I call the wild daylilies. They're only putting off like 1 or 2 blooms a day right now. If you do the same thing, I just pinch those off when they play. Just gives a neater, cleaner look, I feel, if I keep those pinched off. Clean those roses up on the bottom, and I see more that I need to take out. All in due time. I will probably be able to get a lot done when he's home resting, and Sophie can stay inside with him, and I'm not having to work out here and keep an eye on her. So I'm slowly but surely getting there. I did some weed eating around front yesterday, and I did some cleaning up some weeds and trimming up some things up front. Still have to trim up those very front bushes that are up against the porch. They have really grown. I like to take the top down to the porch level of the floor and then clean up the fronts real good. And being that we feed the birds, we don't mind feeding them seed, but we just don't want them eating Ken's blackberries. So he put a little net over it, and he picked that up from, I believe, Lowe's, because they're starting to put out some little berries in there. And we have a cardinal nest in this tree. And they're like, oh great, room and board as well as a smorgasbord. Well, yeah, we have like fresh berries over here, as well as she feeds us seed over there in the bird feeders. Those two white swinging, those two white bird feeders that are like white swings in the tree. That's where their food gets placed. So hopefully I'm going to be able to move beyond this area and get to work pressure washing the bridge back there, getting a board fixed, put back in, and getting that painted sometime this summer. Repaint his barn and the trim and get that all looking purty. Trying to get things in order before his procedure, because he's going to be not able to do anything. I think they said 7 days and no lifting, no straining. Gonna just have to chill and let me do what I can do. And then when he's well recovered, he doesn't have to worry or fear, because I will have a honey-do with me list to get these projects done. I'm sure we could get one of the guys from work to come and help me lift it, or even a couple of them lift it up, you know, put it up there for me. But I'll get it up there one way or another. It is a second cup of coffee kind of day here. Trying to get so much done for Ken's procedure tomorrow. And I'm gonna be up at 3 o'clock, because the time he has to be there, it's gonna, we know about how long it will take. However, we're gonna hit Nashville traffic. The little rosebuds, or pooped out roses, there are the little yellow flowers. And quite a bit of them come off every morning, but quite a few of them bloom every day. And I think this coming weekend, or maybe the next couple of weekends, I'm looking to go ahead and cutting those back and getting them split. And I've told you all before, they're very forgiving, and usually I can cut them back 2 or 3 times a year, and they always rebloom. But I think they're just getting far too thick down there. So that's what I'm looking to do first couple weeks in June. And this weekend, we still have to pick up broccoli plants, cauliflower plants, and cabbage plants and get those in the ground. So we'll be doing that this weekend too. So this is where I'm gonna close up this video, these bits and pieces over the past several days that I've collected for you. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you had a marvelous and safe Memorial Day. And to all of you that have served, are serving, as well as the families, to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. I know that freedom is not free. Therefore, I thank you all for all of your service and all of your love that you have for your country. Again, from my heart to yours, thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is what I'm going to say. Until we meet again, you all take good care, and bye-bye.